you carry it everywhere. That quiet ache, that invisible weight, that echoing emptiness that never leaves. You try to hide it, mask it, ignore it. You smile. You perform. You act like life hasn't carved scars into the depths of your mind. Like the nights spent wrestling with memories and shadows never happened. But they did. And they did not leave. They never do. Some pain does not go away. It lingers, seeps into your thoughts, molds your fears, colors your choices, shapes your very being. Eventually, it becomes who you are. Ask yourself, is that smile you wear real, or is it armor? Is that confidence you project strength, or is it a carefully constructed mask to keep the world from seeing the raw edges beneath? Pain that refuses to leave does not simply hurt, it infiltrates. It teaches you to distrust comfort, to anticipate betrayal, to sculpt your personality around survival. You are no longer merely yourself. You are the sum of wounds, fears, and scars that never healed. And every day you feed it, unaware that it is quietly defining you. Somewhere, someone told you to move on, to let go, to be happy. But happiness is an alien concept for those whose pain is permanent. You don't just remember the hurt, you learn from it. You craft your reactions around it, your relationships, your ambitions, your defenses. Pain becomes a blueprint, a silent architect constructing the building of your personality. It is meticulous, invisible, relentless. Ask yourself, when you lash out, when you withdraw, when you overcompensate, are you acting, or is the pain acting through you? How much of who you think you are is authentic, and how much is a reflection of the trauma you could never outrun? Every insecurity, every defense, every obsession has a source, a wound that carved it into place. Some call it experience, some call it wisdom. But sometimes it is just pain masquerading as self. Consider the nights you cannot sleep, the thoughts that spin endlessly in your head, dissecting every word, every gesture, every moment of your life like a scalpel slicing at nerves. That is pain, persistent, uninvited, shaping your perceptions. It whispers constantly, forcing you to question your worth, your choices, your very existence. And when the world tells you to forgive, forget, or move on, you understand why it is impossible. Pain does not forgive. Pain does not forget. Pain becomes a part of you, silent but omnipresent, shaping reactions and decisions that feel like instinct but are forged in suffering. Ask yourself now, what parts of you are truly you? The parts that laugh, that love, that create, that thrive. Are they genuine, or have they been molded by the wounds you could never leave behind? How many relationships have ended because pain dictated your response? How many opportunities have been lost because fear, pain in disguise, blocked your path? Pain is a master sculptor, subtle yet absolute. You believe you choose your personality. In truth, pain chose it for you, layer by layer, memory by memory. You try to deny it. You tell yourself it's all over, that you've moved past it. But deep inside, you know the truth. Some pain is not a moment. Some pain is not a chapter. Some pain does not fade like a scar over time. It becomes permanent. It is the soil in which your personality grows, the shadow that stretches behind you, sometimes unnoticed, sometimes impossible to ignore. You carry it in your reactions, in your expectations, in the walls you build around yourself. It whispers to your choices. Trust less, protect more, anticipate betrayal, anticipate abandonment, anticipate hurt. Ask yourself, how often do you confuse survival instincts for character? How often do you see your defenses as strength, your cynicism as wisdom, your walls as identity? Pain, each is these lessons, whether you want them or not. And in that education, it silently rewrites the blueprint of your mind. You are no longer free. You are the product of wounds that never healed, of moments that never left, of suffering that became permanent architecture. Even the smiles, the jokes, the art, the laughter, they are influenced, tinted, shaded by the same persistent hurt. Every attempt to escape it is futile. Pain is not a visitor. It is an inhabitant. It shapes your dreams, your fears, your desires, your defenses. And when someone says, "Why are you like this?" you do not answer, because the truth is unbearable. You are like this because pain became you. It was patient, it waited, it lingered, and it did not leave. Ask yourself, finally, will you continue to hide it, to mask it, to pretend it's not there? Or will you face it, accept it, and understand how deeply it has etched itself into your being? Because the longer you ignore it, the stronger it grows. Pain that becomes personality does not need permission. It thrives in silence, in avoidance, in the unspoken corners of your mind. And every time you pretend it doesn't exist, it tightens its hold, shaping decisions, reactions, and relationships. The people around you see only the surface. They see smiles, manners, and charisma. They see confidence or humor, kindness or charm. But they do not see the quiet architect behind every nuance, the pain that shaped it. They do not see the invisible hand guiding your reactions, whispering insecurities, sharpening defenses, building walls. And that is the cruelest truth. Some pain will never leave. It becomes you, and the world will never understand. And yet, paradoxically, there is power in that acknowledgement. To recognize that your personality is forged in the fires of unhealed wounds is the first step toward mastery. Not to erase, not to forget, not to pretend, but to see, to understand, to channel. Because what becomes you cannot be destroyed. It can only be understood, navigated, and if wielded wisely, transformed into resilience, insight, and ultimately truth. The deeper you descend into yourself, the clearer it becomes. Pain is not a visitor. It is a permanent resident. It is the quiet whisper in your ear during moments of joy, the hesitation before trust, the weight behind every decision. It molds, bends, and shapes the raw material of your soul. And in its persistence, it teaches you lessons that no teacher, no book, no philosophy could ever impart. The world tells you to move on, to forgive, to heal, but those are illusions. Some pain does not move on. Some pain becomes personality, and the personality it builds is intricate, unrelenting, and often unrecognizable to those who never suffered as deeply as you have. Ask yourself, when you react, when you overcompensate, when you retreat, are those decisions yours? Or are they echoes of a wound that refuses to be silenced? The truth is uncomfortable. Much of what you call you is crafted from survival, from memories that never left, from suffering that transformed into instinct. You laugh, but your laughter is tempered by caution. You speak, but your words are filtered through defense. You act, but every action carries a shadow of the pain you endured. And this shadow, silent and invisible, guides your steps, defines your preferences, and shapes the relationships you allow. Some pain teaches cruelty, some teaches vigilance, some teaches avoidance. All of it teaches. And the more you resist acknowledgement, the more it manifests in subtle, almost imperceptible ways. An unprovoked fear here, a moment of paranoia there, a compulsion to control, to dominate, to anticipate betrayal. The world may call these traits personality. In reality, they are survival. They are lessons the pain has written into your being. They are proof of endurance and evidence of wounds that never left. Ask yourself, how many walls have you built? How many masks have you fashioned to hide the raw, unhealed places? Pain that becomes personality does not allow vulnerability. It enforces distance, subtle control, perfectionism, cynicism. And you obey, unknowingly, because these are the strategies of survival you learned when you had no choice. Over time, the survival strategy becomes identity. And identity, your apparent self, is no longer fully yours. It is a symphony composed by suffering, orchestrated by memory, conducted by wounds. But there is a dangerous beauty in this understanding. To see that pain is the architect of personality is also to see the blueprint, the scaffolding, the mechanisms that have guided every instinct. Awareness is the first rebellion. Recognition is the first liberation. If you can identify which reactions, habits, and fears are rooted in unhealed wounds, you can choose. Pain will no longer dictate silently. It will guide consciously. It will no longer trap. It will inform. The personality it forged that need not remain a prisoner. It can become a tool. Ask yourself, what could you become if you stopped pretending the pain isn't there? If you stopped denying its influence and instead examined its design, traced its edges, acknowledged its grip? Some personality traits born of suffering are twisted, toxic, and isolating. But others are resilient, insightful, and strong. Pain gives endurance. Pain gives empathy. Pain gives depth. Those who have suffered are not hollow. They are layered, complex, and capable of seeing reality in ways the unscarred cannot. But do not mistake this for comfort. Understanding does not erase. Recognition does not erase. Some pain never leaves. It remains a companion, a shadow, a quiet teacher. And its lessons are not gentle. They are blunt, they are relentless, and they are exacting. They demand acknowledgement, introspection, and confrontation. Only by facing the pain directly, without masks, without excuses, without distraction, can you hope to harness the power it has embedded in you. Consider this. Every choice, every habit, every pattern, every fear is a message from the pain you carry. Ignoring it is a form of surrender. Confronting it is a form of mastery. To understand that some pain becomes personality is to step into the mirror and see the architect behind your instincts, the ghost behind your habits, the unseen force guiding your life. And to see it is not weakness, it is the first step toward control, toward clarity, toward agency. Ask yourself now, are you willing to face the shadow? Are you willing to strip away illusions and masks, to look directly at the pain that has defined your thoughts, your choices, your relationships? Because avoidance guarantees nothing but repetition. Denial guarantees only that pain continues to act silently, invisibly, shaping you without your consent. Confrontation, however, offers something rare: understanding. Even if the pain never leaves, understanding gives perspective. It gives power. It gives ownership. And here is the final truth. Some pain will never go away. It will haunt you, shape you, follow you like a ghost through every stage of life. But if you acknowledge it, if you trace its influence, if you allow yourself to understand the ways it has written your personality, you reclaim the space it once occupied unconsciously. You are no longer merely a product of wounds. You are a participant in the architecture of your own being. Pain may have built the walls, but you decide which doors to open. Pain may have carved the path, but you decide where to walk. This is not comfort. This is not solace. This is truth. Some pain does not vanish. It becomes personality. And your personality, forged in suffering, is not fixed. It is not permanent in the way you feared. Awareness gives you leverage. Recognition gives you clarity. Acceptance gives you freedom. Freedom not to erase the past, but to navigate the present, to shape the future, and to wield the lessons embedded in your scars. You have been living under its weight unaware. Now, see it. Now, understand it. Now, embrace it. Not as a victim, but as a conscious agent navigating the complex architecture of your own mind. Pain may never leave, but it can become a teacher, a guide, and ultimately a force you command rather than a force that commands you. You are more than your suffering. You are also the awareness it created, the depth it built, the resilience it forged. You are not only the wound, you are the observer of the wound, the interpreter of its lessons, the one who decides what to let shape you and what to reject. Pain that becomes personality is permanent. But your understanding of it, your relationship with it, your conscious choice of how it influences you, that is power. And that power is yours to wield. This is Philospiral.